Psychologically abused. Yeah, you heard me right. Psychologically abused. We are living in a life of deception. Deception in our looks, deception in our attire, deception in our thoughts and emotions, and last but not the least, deception in the very realization of not being deceptive at all. Hello everyone, this is Yasir Akram, and today we are going to talk about something which we have ignored in the past. What is deception? Deception is when you mix truth with lies, and you mix in such a way that it looks like truth. That's why it is quite harmful, because you cannot separate it from the truth. Now go 10 years back and look around. What's going on? That the things which were prohibited in the past are basically accepted these days. For example, the gay marriages, which were supposed to be a social evil so many years back, are now accepted these days. The superpower right now, which is known as the United States of America, and the president, who is known as the most powerful person in the entire world, cannot win the election until and unless he favors gayism in his election campaign. Now come to the other side of the picture. And what is that? You see, the children these days, they are accustomed to do abusing and do illicit talk quite often. The thing is, they feel being cool, they feel themselves being dominant, and that's why they abuse. And the reason is they find themselves being superior. Ladies and gentlemen, this globalized world has changed into a different spectrum. Now the young generation cannot be dealt the same way the old generations were dealt. And there are so many reasons because of that. The social media has basically having the grip on the young generation. And that's why they are being manipulated by those social media apps. Why do I know this all? The question is that. The reason is, I belong to this profession of teaching. There are so many parents who come every day to me and discuss about their children. And what is the question they are coming up with? That is, their children do not respect them. Why they don't respect them? There are so many reasons that your children do not respect the lower class people. Okay, let me ask you something. What do you say to them when they disrespect the elders? What do you say to them when they disrespect the servants and the maids? What do you say to them when they disrespect the strangers? The reason is you don't say nothing at all. What needs to be done? Well, I have my all sympathies for the children and the young generation, because they are sufferers as well. The reason is the society they are living in is full of deceit and lies. You must tell your kid to respect the elders no matter what age group. Let me tell you some example that there are so many instances when our relatives come to home and your children do not go to them to greet them because they feel themselves superior. you need to tell them, you need to make it sure that they greet the relatives. You should make it sure that they greet the elders at home. Secondly, you should make it sure that the children should respect their teachers. They can never respect you. Let me tell you this thing again and again, that they can never respect you until and unless they respect their teachers. Moreover, parents need to come out of this false deception that their children will never break their trust. Furthermore, give them time regardless of your busy routine, because that is very necessary. When children think themselves being neglected, they take this thing in a negative way. So you should make it sure that whatever you are doing for them, you make it sure that you find time for them. Last but not the least, you should communicate with your children time and again. And you need to talk to them. Talk about everything. Talk about something you think that will be told to them after 5 or 7 years. Because they are already there. They are exposed to social media. They are exposed to such threat. So that's why you need to talk to them. You need to communicate with them and talk about those do's and don'ts. Well, to conclude this discussion, let me tell you one thing. Why is there a need to address the young generation? Because they are the ones who are responsible for the survival of our identity as human beings. And that's why they should differentiate between being human and human being. Well, limitations and restrictions are something we must keep. I would highly appreciate if you could share your opinion and comments about the video. Thank you so much.